A malevolent force, ancient and inexorable, marches across the cosmos. It promises nothing but death, leaves in its wake nothing but endless snow and chilling ice. It has swallowed countless spheres. Millions have perished within its frozen maw, a stomach of cold oblivion. A fiery tempest, pulsating with raw chaos, surges within the genetic imprint of a bloodline meticulously cultivated and impressed upon by terrible purpose. A conflagration whose temperature stirs hope and hatred, melts borders and raises kingdoms, stokes the white-hot promise of salvation. An enigmatic prophecy binds these irreconcilable forces, given word by a seeress long departed. Charged with significance, it speaks of a great frost destined to entomb all in icy silence. But as a phoenix rises from the grave, a brilliant light will burst forth from this bleak fate. A white flame, invigorated with elder blood, will shatter the ice, melt the glaciers, and bear the world anew. How these three energies of grand mysticism connect to fulfill their purpose is in fate's hands, alongside the destiny of the continent and spheres beyond. This is the tale of the White Frost, of elder blood, of Ithlinne ep Evanine's prophecy. Before we begin, I want to give a huge thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon. You're truly fantastic, and I'm so grateful for the patronage. Alright, let's dive in. Though her words survive the ages, Ithlinne ep Evanine is a character of ancient lore, an oracle and elf whose memory is preserved in prophecy. The En Ithlinne Speath comprises a litany of prognostications in which the seeress has correctly predicted events on the continent's most conspicuous stage. Her words were portentous of the northern wars waged between the kingdoms and empire of Nilfgaard, of plagues that ravaged populations, of pogroms and ethnic cleansings that massacred thousands. At the heart of En Ithlinne Speath, and steeped in dangerous mysticism, is Ithlinne's forecast of the end of days. Its first passage immortalized in the opening page of Blood of Elves. Verily I say unto you, the era of the sword and axe is nigh, the era of the wolf's blizzard, the time of the white chill and the white light is nigh, the time of madness and the time of contempt, Ted de Wraith, the time of end. The world will die amidst frost and be reborn with the new sun. It will be reborn of elder blood, of Henneker, of the seed that has been sown, a seed which will not sprout but burst into flame. This prophecy predicts the final age, a time when the continent and its people will perish beneath an impenetrable advance of snow and ice. It tells of the white frost, a force unstoppable, and of the flashing signs that warn of its arrival. Many such signs appear throughout the Witcher series and grip the continent in pandemonium. Cryptic messages told through oracular visions. Who is far shall die at once. Who is near shall fall from the sword. Who hides shall die from hunger. Who survives shall perish from the frost. For Ted de Wraith, the time of the white cold shall come. Ithlinne's prophecy and its greater implications fuel the impetus of kings, wizards, and scholars alike, who all wish to understand the power hidden beneath her words. But what exactly is the white frost of which she speaks, and does it truly herald the end of days? The opaque curtain of enigma enshrouds the white frost, which fuels fear and misunderstanding. Also known as the white chill or wolf's blizzard, it's an omen that precedes and brings forth Ted de Wraith, the end of the world. Ithlinne predicts that the white frost will surge south from the chilling glaciers and coat the lands in thick sheets of ice. Blinding white snow will set in. Life will dwindle until the continent's resources are exhausted completely. Then it will cease to exist. Silence will reign over a dead world. A more prosaic explanation is given to the Wisher Geralt of Rivia by the Severan elf Avallac'h, in which the white frost is no more than a shift in planetary alignment, a global cooling that ushers a natural ice age. He says, as a result of a change in the angle of the sun's rays, the margin of permafrost will shift significantly. Then the mountains will be crushed and pushed back. Everything will be buried under snow, and it will become very, very cold. Regardless of the cause, the end is the same: death of the continent and all who dwell there. This apocalypse is far from climactic. It will progress slowly over millennia. Innocuous at first, long winters, changes in plant and animal activity, but over time its effect will pronounce. Famine, cold exposure, relentless snows will render the world inhospitable. It's an outcome both sobering and unavoidable, a supreme act of nature that heralds Ted the Wraith. But is the White Frost truly a natural occurrence, and is it limited to the continent? The Witcher 3 video game expands upon the White Frost phenomenon. It manifests itself on the fringes of the NL Elves' homeworld. The Alderfolk attempt all in their vast capacity to mitigate its encroachment as they scour ancient texts and lands for a means of stopping it entirely. Their desperate search bears little fruit. The most powerful spells can slow it only momentarily, and even the En-Severn sages are powerless to resist. In time, the White Frost will consume the NL entirely. It's speculative whether the frost is a natural occurrence on the NL world, coinciding with the fate of the continent, a method for pruning and rebuilding on a cosmic scale, or if it's a malevolent force of chaos made manifest, a terror unleashed with insatiable hunger, with a desire to consume, to destroy. One thing remains certain: the White Frost, wherever it appears, threatens all life. What chance does civilization stand against such implacable a foe? Ithlinne's prophecy grants insight into one who may possess the key to avoiding Ted the Wraith. The bleakness of En Ithlinne led many down the dark abyss of despair, but a flicker of light hides deep within. A glow of hope attracts, like moths, great beings and forces. That hope rests within the heart of Princess Cirilla of Cintra. Ithlinne states that the world will be reborn of elder blood, of Henneker, of the seed that has been sown, a seed which will not sprout but burst into flame. Henneker refers to the Elder Blood Project initiated by the NL Elves centuries ago as an experiment in bloodline and genetic manipulation to produce an individual able to control the primal forces of space and time, that at one point had been within the elves' influence but has since been stripped from the Alderfolk. The elf Lorebrarian Abscheidal was a carefully cultivated product of the experiment. A powerful gene within her granted immense strength that bestowed similar abilities within her descendants. Princess Cirilla's own ancestry is traced to the famed Lorebrarian, and as the last child of elder blood, she holds in her genes a power to contend with the White Frost. Like all prophecy, Ithlinne's abstruse words are open to myriad interpretations to which various cultures and groups cling. Emir Var Emrys, Emperor of Nilfgaard and father of Ciri, believes prophecy points to himself and his daughter. He's known by many names, but one of significance is the White Flame. Reports that Ithlinne's prophecy speaks of a hero born to the White Flame and White Queen, as mentioned in the Blood of Elves novel, suggests the child born of Emir and Cirilla's union will possess the power to prevent the Wolf's Blizzard and save the continent. Many scholars refute this as nothing more than perfidious Nilfgaardian propaganda to elevate their mythical ruler. Others see Ciri not as salvation, but as the bringer of ice and desolation. Ithlinne states that the world will perish amidst ice, and later portends that the destroyer of nations is upon us. Your lands shall they trample and divide with rope. Your cities razed shall they be, their dwellers expelled. The bat, owl, and raven your homes shall infest, and the serpent will therein make its nest. Many view the child of elder blood as a dangerous threat that must be eternally silenced to prevent the end of days. They see in Ciri chaos manifest, a harbinger of doom that threatens to upend civilization, raze kingdoms to the ground, and encase the continent in a frozen tomb. The elves view Ithlinne's prophecy and the Elder Blood Project with an optimistic eye. In the Tower of Swallows, the En-Severn sage Avallac'h details the Witcher Geralt subtleties within the prophecy. Only those who follow the swallow will survive. The swallow, the symbol of spring, is the savior, the one who will open the forbidden door, signal the way of salvation, and make possible the world's rebirth. The swallow, the child of the elder blood. If the elves follow the swallow, they will escape icy death and claim paradise amidst a new age. It's of note that Cirilla, Zariel in Elder speech, translates to swallow. The NL see her elder blood not as a weapon to stop the White Frost, perhaps nothing can, but as a way to open portals in the fabric of space-time, the forbidden door which allows flight to other worlds. As such a promising and powerful figure, the NL dispatched the Wild Hunt to chase and capture Ciri. The full extent of their endeavor and the cosmic consequences of the White Frost are expanded upon in the events of the Witcher 3 video game. Ultimately, the white chill threatens not just the continent, but also the land of the NL. No magic or force, however powerful, can completely stop Ted Derate's arrival. Not even Cirilla, the child of elder blood, is victorious in confronting the destructive force of nature. The only hope of salvation is to flee home and country, assume the role of nomad, and follow the swallow through the Ard Gaith, the forbidden door, which leads to a future unwritten, uncertain, undulating on the waves of time. The time of contempt, the end of days, the white frost long ago prophesied by the oracle Ithlinne ap Evenine is at hand. A blizzard unstoppable descends on chilled northern winds. Only death and destruction are promised. But within the frozen earth, the bleak abyss, a seed of hope incubates. A white flame fueled by elder blood promises to shatter the glaciers and breathe new life into the land. A resplendent phoenix prophesies to reclaim the world and rule in peace. The signs are apparent, the time pressing. Will Ithlinne's prophecy become reality, or will strong forces forever alter fate's path? Only time will tell. Thanks so much for watching and listening to this video on Ithlinne's prophecy and the White Frost. Now I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts on her prophecy, the Wolfish Blizzard, and the Elder Blood Project, as well as suggestions for future videos in the comments below. And if you're a fan of Lauren's storytelling, subscribe to the channel, check out the podcast or the blog where content is uploaded frequently. I want to thank my amazing supporters over on Patreon who make all of this possible, and I couldn't do it without their fantastic support. If you'd like to become a lore luminary for access to me, a great community, written scripts, and early video drops, head to patreon.com/thelorebrarians to learn more. Until next time, go forth and explore the lore.